Whew. All right, guys, welcome back to the Xtra Innings Podcast. Your host, Elijah here. We're back with another episode. I'm doing one today, Monday night, because I didn't get to it yesterday. I wanted to yesterday, just ran out of time. And honestly, my allergies have been acting really bad. And I'm going no headphones, so feeling a little bit wild today. But yeah, guys, nothing crazy honestly happened this weekend. There's a couple storylines that I wanted to touch on, a few things here and there. But honestly, nothing too crazy, nothing out of the norm. Obviously, we're going to talk about the leaders in the All-Star voting and kind of a few flaws that I found in that whole process. And one other thing, if I sound weird again, I'm not using headphones, so I wanted to kind of get this one going, right? Because there's some stuff that just happened. We're going to talk about Chase Burns. We're going to talk about the Yankees, who are right now facing Max Scherzer. I think he just got taken out of the game, if I'm not mistaken, and a couple other things. So nothing too crazy. But the first thing on my list, and I wanted to talk about this on Sunday, although the series finished yesterday, we have to talk about the Mets. And it's all over the place. I see a lot of people talking about it, talking baseball talked about it. A couple other places talked about it. But the Mets are spiraling, completely falling apart. No, that's dramatic. But they have lost 13 of their last 16. Notably, this last series against Pittsburgh was pretty rough. Was really bad. And if you didn't know, obviously they gave up 30 runs and only scored 4. You heard that right. They gave up 30 runs and scored 4. With the big bad Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, they just sent down their catcher from last year. It's just wow. Quote from Cohen: "I didn't see this coming. I'm as frustrated as everybody else. We will get through this period. Our injured pitching will come back over the next few weeks. It's unlikely the team's hitting with runners in scoring position will continue at this weak pace." Bold. Because on Sunday, they had a 217 average with runners in scoring position. That is, I'm taking a guess here, but that's pretty bad. It's got to be one of the, right here. It is the worst in the National League. That's how bad that is. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can find some more stats on this here. They even held a meeting on Saturday night. No press, held a meeting, players only meeting. That didn't help. So I don't know. I don't quite know what the fix is here. Now, it's noted that the Mets, Juan Soto started slow and he's, maybe feeling a hangover from signing that massive contract that was earlier in the year, but now it seems to be kind of like all encompassing. Now they've got the Brewers who are playing decent ball. I want to see if I can find some box scores from that series. I mean, the thing is, like with the Pirates, dude, the Pirates have not been playing good ball, have not been playing good baseball at all. They're known for giving Paul Skeens this thing where he has a really great ERA. I don't remember the stats. I talked about it not too long ago. Had a great ERA and less than 4 wins or some shit like that. Like just horrible. Not playing good. Bullpen's trash. Bad, right? Let me see this here. I'm trying to find I have to see the box scores. I didn't watch a lot of ball. We're busy this weekend, but I have to see this. Okay. So lost to the Pirates. Let's see. 1-9 on Friday night. Oh my God. 1-9 on Friday night. Give me that box. Lindor 0 for 4. Then they pinch hit Jankowski. Nimmo 1 for 3. Soto 1 for 2 with a walk. Alonso 1 for 4. 0 for 4. 0 for 4. 2 for 4 for Brett Beatty. 1 for 3. 0 for 4. Bad. That was they lost 9-1. Oh shit, go back. Who pitched that game? Because Clay Holmes hasn't been great either. Let's make that known. And he was their big addition pitching wise. Oh, Peterson. 4 and 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned. And then Tidwell came in for 3 and 1/3. Wow. So not a good game there at all by any means. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Oh, 2-9 on Saturday. Shit. Not small losses. The Pirates. Again, Lindor 1 for 4. Vientos 1 for 5. Soto 1 for 5. Alonso 2 for 4. Nimmo 2 for 4. Marte 1 for 3. Taylor 0 for 4. Beatty 1 for 3. Where's the pitching? Blackburn. Holy shit. 1 inning, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned. Fuck. 12 hits. How many? Yeah. Jeez, guys. So that fell apart there. Oh man. Okay, last one. Listen. I'm a Yankee fan, and I can't say that I'm not salty. Juan Soto going over to the other side of New York. I'm not a Mets fan. I don't necessarily hate them or anything. It's just like you kind of love to see it, just like people love to see the Yankees lose. It's kind of one of those things for me, but this is bad. You hope that they'll pull it out. I mean, shit. Frankie Montas got his start. That's right. 4 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned, and it went to shit. They had to throw Jankowski in there for an inning. What was that? 12-1. Damn. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, part of me wants to freak out. I mean, again, every team, and I say this all the time, kind of playing devil's advocate with myself here. Every team's going to have the skids. It's a 162 game season. There's going to be moments where guys are just going to have a tough time. They're humans. No one's perfect. You have the Judges, you have the Otanis, but even those guys have skids. You saw it last year in the World Series or postseason, really. Otani didn't show up. Judge didn't show up. Like, there's stretches of game where that happens. It's part of baseball. It's just one of those things, right? But again, we're going to have to see. The Mets have the Brewers coming in, and that's going to be interesting if they can turn this around. They're still 48-37 by all means. They're still okay. They haven't completely blown the season off, right? But if this streak continues, that's a lot of losses in the last couple of weeks, that you have to hope that they're going to bring that back. All right, next on my list is recent news happened about 30 minutes ago. Let me type this up because I want the box. Chase Burns. So last week, and I watched it, I'm sure a lot of people did, Chase Burns made his debut in Cincinnati against the New York Yankees. Electric. Absolutely electric. I mean, I can't say anything else. It was a great outing. I mean, he struck out like 7 of the first 9 batters or some shit he saw. Like, incredible. I mean, it was incredible. Who's texting me? Okay. Incredible, right? All right, let me have the lines here. So on the 24th, he pitched against New York, 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. And even then, the hits weren't even that great. I think he gave up a bomb to Chisholm, and there was a misplayed ball in center. And a couple things, snowball hits here and there, but wasn't hit ridiculously hard. The 6 hits, I feel like, is misleading, especially in a debut. Not bad. I mean, fucking 8 strikeouts in your debut is pretty damn good. Week later, right, in Fenway, not so good. He got 1 out, 5 hits, 5 earned, 2 walks, and no strikeouts. Big difference. Now, my throat, man, Jesus. Now, I want to be clear. I've been watching Chase Burns pitch since he was at Wake, then he was at Tennessee, and now he's here. First round pick, obviously, last year in the draft. I think. Listen, no bullshit. Chase Burns, his stuff plays at an elite level. You saw it against the Yankees. He was on. It was good. He was crisp. He was electric. Fastball was placed perfectly. The slider was deadly. The changeup. His changeup is the weakest of his 3. His play pitches are fastball, slider. No question, right? Those are his pitches. Today, I watched probably about a third because the Yankees are playing up. The Yankees always prioritize, and I got the Diamondbacks starting in about an hour. He didn't look the same. 1, 2. I noticed it a little bit, and then the broadcast for the Red Sox talked about it. He seemed like he might have been tipping pitches. And we'll obviously know more probably tomorrow morning as we get some pro. I'm no pro, but once we get some guys like some ex-pitchers to analyze, maybe something happened. Maybe there was something going on. You saw Duran go and he scored. He went up to wanted to whisper something there. So there's something happening. I think Francona maybe have noticed something. I think he might have been tipping pitches because you don't go from an 8 strikeout game against the Yankees, one of the hottest teams in baseball, to then giving up 5 hits, 5 earned to the Red Sox, who are on an absolute struggle bus. Very weird. What I will say, though, is no question, no doubts, Chase Burns has major league stuff. I mean, we know this. It's a bad outing. I like to go on Twitter and I like to, fraternize. I like to talk some shit, get some conversations going. The amount of people that are like, oh my God, this guy's a 2-pitch guy. Chase Burns is trash, blah, blah, blah. I see it. Is he a closer? He was a reliever at Wake. He's kind of electric guy, maybe too much, too fast. I don't know. I think maybe later down the line, I see him more in a relief role. Will he stay a starter? I don't know. A lot of guys that started off starters and then saw success in the pen. And again, we are way early here, way too early. It's a second big league start ever. So to even start considering this conversation, I'm going to neck myself for even considering talking about this. It's possible. You know, a lot of guys, Aroldis Chapman, Luke Weaver, a lot of guys who started off in the league as starters and then found a lot of success in the bullpen. But again, second start ever, give the guy a break. He's playing at Fenway, an electric stadium, nerves. First game, like no knock at the Reds, but you know you're playing at home. You're starting your major league debut. You're juiced. You're playing at home. You're going into Fenway. I mean, that alone probably would be nerve-wracking. You're playing at Fenway, the oldest park in. I think it's older than Wrigley. The oldest park in baseball. There's a lot there, right? There's a lot, and anything could happen, right? Second start, everybody calm down. He's got good, elite, major league stuff. I think he might have been tipping, maybe just some stuff to work on. But again, something to think about. Chase Burns did get rocked tonight. Not a good outing. Moving on. The Yankees. Listen, I'm a Yankee fan through and through. In fact, I'm going to check the score because I know that Max Scherzer was perfect through fucking like 3 or something. I'm a realist. I'm going to be honest. I'm real all the way. I am a diehard Yankee fan. I've been a diehard Yankee fan since I was fucking like, I don't know, 7. I don't know. I've been a Yankee fan forever, right? So I'm not some bandwagon. Don't think I'm a bandwagon. I've been a Yankee fan forever. Since before A-Rod. Probably, you know, the Mariano, Jorge Posada, Jeter, that run, 2000, 99, 2000, that 98, 99, 2000, that area. That's when I started, right? So I've been a Yankee fan for a long time. And I've known when the Yankees are fun to watch, and I'm also not afraid to admit when they're just not fun to watch. 17, fun to watch Judge. 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. All those years, they're okay, but they weren't overly exciting to watch. 23, brutal year. So I'll tell you when they're not fun to watch. 24 was a good year. Not fundamentally sound at all. Came back to bite them in the World Series, straight up, but they were a fun team to watch. And here we are. At the beginning of the year, it was like, you know, Jazz is really fun. I think Jazz is on another fucking level right now. So obviously Judge, right? You can't talk about the Yankees and not talk about Aaron Judge. But Jazz Chisholm, since coming back from his injury, aside from a few defensive miscues, which he just had one at third, which I really think that they're misusing him at third. They got to put him at second and figure something else out. I know they're eyeing that guy from the Angels. I saw a trade rumor there, but that's a whole other story. But Jazz is on another level. I got to find these stats on Jazz because Jazz is going off right now. He just hit another home run tonight after hitting one, I think, yesterday too. I mean, dude's going off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the stats. Yeah, he's a saving grace right now. By all means, there's a thing right here. He's a saving grace. He's a game changer, absolutely. Right here. In 23 games this month in June, which last day of June, he's hit 318, slashing 318, 379, 600 with 6 bombs and 4 stolen bags. Cool. Damn. That's going off, right? Compared to everybody else. I mean, shit. But aside from Jazz, you take Jazz out, you take the electric home runs from Judge out. Not a lot to really be excited about. Yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh my God!" You know, they put up 10 yesterday. You know, they erupted on the A's, man. On the A's. It's not even something to really be excited about, right? So let's look back at, you know, the Yankees and their schedule here. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to be excited about here besides these two pieces, right? Let's see. But again, the A's, which they've been historically tearing up Severino since he hasn't been a Yankee. In an A's uniform, they've destroyed him now twice. No, I don't. The MLB's got to fix their site, man. I hate this damn thing. I hate their site so much. All right, so in the month of June, all right, so the Athletics, they took 2 of 3 from the Athletics. They lost the series to the Reds. That was that extra innings games Burns start, that was terrible, a bad game. Took 2 out of 3 from the Orioles. They lost 2 of 3 to the Angels, which the Angels have been playing better ball, but again, swept by the Red Sox. They did sweep Kansas City, but that was a bad series. Lost the series to Boston again. I don't know if that's their kryptonite because they're going to probably see Boston again, even though Boston may or may not make it. I don't know. But clearly have an issue with Boston. Took 2 of 3 from Cleveland. All right, so that's the month of June. Coming up, right now they're playing, obviously, they've got the series with the Blue Jays all week, Monday through Thursday. Then they got the Mets this weekend, which is interesting, at City. Then they've got the Mariners, the Cubs. Then it's All-Star break. Then they got the Braves coming back. Then the Blue Jays again. Then the Phillies and the Rays. So not a terrible July. They should hopefully, aside from, I guess, the Phillies, I mean, the Cubs maybe and the Mariners maybe, but the rest they should have no issues with. On paper, they should be having no issues with the Blue Jays, but apparently that's, they're only up 3-1 right now, so I don't know. But all in all this to say, the Yankees have been underwhelming, sadly. I've found myself wanting to watch other baseball games. If the Yankees are on again, I always give them priority, but lately I've just been wanting to watch anybody else playing because they're just not fun. They just feel dead. There's no life. I don't know. That's just how I feel lately, and I may be alone in that. I just feel like the Yankees have not been a fun club to watch. They've just not been great. We've been missing Wells, who's got some hand thing going, which you've then seen Ben Rice taking reps behind the plate. Not a bad thing, but is that concerning for Wells? There's just a lot of question marks happening. And again, we're still, there's still 31 days till the deadline. Will they be making moves? I don't know. I'm just a little concerned about the Yankees and their June. But again, both New York teams have had shitty June, so maybe it's all going to be for naught. Maybe they'll have a great July, have a great August, and then go into the postseason ready to go. I don't know. But again, I do think there's probably going to be some moves made at the deadline. We're going to see. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But yeah, I'd a little worried about the Yankees not playing great ball. All right. Again, we'll have more later this week regarding current events, right? But I did want to talk about this because All-Star leaders, there were some snubs, right? A big one was Ellie De La Cruz, who was snubbed in the All-Star voting. Another one was Jeremy Pena, who's having a great year. I'm no Astros fan, but the dude's having a year, and he was snubbed big time. Why is he not? How is he not even being considered, right? Right. Let's see. So notably, James Woods, another one, having a great year. I mean, a lot of strong numbers and not getting any calls, right? Any votes. Here's the thing. As much as you don't want to admit it, the MLB All-Star voting is a popularity contest. Through and through. It's for the general public to vote, and they can vote multiple times a day, I think, or some shit like that. I voted I think I've maybe voted like 4 or 5 times. Nothing too crazy. Always the same votes. And and the thing is like, how do I put this gently? The best players are not always going to get picked. You're going to have the top guys always. Like last year, Christian Walker was having a phenomenal year and he got snubbed. That was a big one. Byron Buxton this year also another big snub. Like there's a lot of guys who are just not on these huge marketable teams, or they're just not the forefront of the MLB. You're Mike Trout, you're Vladimir Guerrero, you're Tatis, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani. Like if you're not on a big budget team, a lot of times you're going to get snubbed. You're just not going to get seen. It's part of that's just what happens with this voting, system, whatever you want to call it. And that's part of it, right? And I don't think anything's wrong with it. I think that there needs to be a better job. You see a lot of teams campaigning and they're doing these little social things and they're going out in the city and they're like, hey, make sure you vote. I think that sometimes goes back on the club a little bit, on your org, to promote you to the public, to want you to vote, to want you to vote, to get the attention to you. I think that does go a little bit on the organization for not putting in the effort. Because like the Diamondbacks are a mid-major team, right? They do have Ketel Marte, who's probably going to start at second base. But even knowing that he's leading the voting at second base, they're still out there doing campaigns and the players are out doing fun shit. Like that kind of goes back on the org for not pushing you more and for not getting you out there in front of the cameras, in front of the people. So I'm split. Does it kind of do an injustice to some guys on smaller teams? Absolutely. But at the same time, your team should be pushing you even more, I think, personally. So that's my thought on it. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, but we're going to see. That being said, the American League, I'm just going to go through the top 5. And I'll give all 10. Sometimes there's 10, right? So right now, leading for first baseman in the American League, we have Vlad Jr. with 1.1 million votes. Number 2 is Paul Goldschmidt for the Yankees. He's having a good year at 1.1 million as well. He's in second. At third, Jonathan Aranda, $879,000. So a big dip there from those two. Then you got Spencer Torkelson at 4. Christian Walker, Pasquatch, Vinny Pasquantino, Mountcastle, Chanel, Carlos Santana, and then Rudy Tellez at second base. Crazy enough, not a good. This is what irritates me the most. The Yankees got rid of Gleyber Torres because he wasn't a good defensive player. Yet here he is having a fucking phenomenal year with Detroit, which Detroit all the way around is having a great year. Tarek Skubal is doing some crazy shit on the mound over there. Gleyber Torres is going to start the All-Star game for the American League at second base. No words. I know they're campaigning for Jackson Holiday, but that's not going to happen. But Jackson Holiday's number 2. Jose Altuve at 3, Brandon Lau at 4. Then we got Andres Jimenez, Jazz Chisholm at second. He's playing third more than he plays second, but whatever. Will Castro, Dylan Moore, Schienemann, and then Renifo, who's the guy the Yankees are looking at, by the way, earlier when I talked about that. That's it. Shortstop. Pena. What? Somebody told me that Pena was snub, but he's number 3. But again, he may not get it. Jacob Wilson for the Athletics. He's having a great year. I'm a fan of him. He's a good ball player. Bobby Witt Jr. number 2. Crazy there, but Bobby Witt's number 2. Jeremy Pena at 3. Bichette at 4. Trey Sweeney. Volpe at 6. Zach Neto. Guy's not that good. I mean, it's coming for me. I'm just saying a little high. JP Crawford. Gunnar Henderson's low because the Orioles have been bad this year. And then Corey Seager at 10. He missed a lot of ball this year. Third baseman, Jose Ramirez. A lot of people think Jose Ramirez is underrated, and a lot of people just don't talk about him, but the dude is a fucking baller, bro. A dude is a baller. So number 1 at third, Jose Ramirez. 2, Alex Bregman. He's not going to be there because he's hurt still, but they said today was the best he's felt. Take with that what you will. Zach McKinstry, I don't know who that is. Addison Barger, Isaac Paredes, Junior Caminero, okay. Michael Garcia. LeMahieu getting some all-star votes. Dope. Ramon Urias, and then Ben Williamson. At the DH, number 1, Ryan O'Hearn. Okay. Ben Rice, Brent Rooker, Colt Keith, Yordan Alvarez, Anthony Santander, Michael Tauchman, Jorge Polanco, Yandy Diaz, Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson, who led the year with the biggest slump we've ever seen. Catcher's Cal Raleigh. Come on. 1.9 million. Come on. Dude's doing something we've never seen from a catcher ever. Deserved. Alejandro Kirk, little man, tearing a cover. Even right now, I've been watching. He's giving some really tough at bats. So that's a big one. Dylan Dingler, Yanier Diaz, okay. Logan O'Hop, Austin Wells at 6, okay. Adley Rutschman. A lot of the thing with the Orioles, and I talked about it earlier this year, man. Big disappointment, bro. They have so many good ball players, bro. Adley Rutschman, okay, at 7. Salvador Perez, Carlos Narvaez, Bo Naylor at 10. Cool. Oh, fucking list of outfielders. I'm going to run through these quick because there's 20. We haven't got to the National League yet. Aaron Judge, of course, at 1. Riley Green at 2. Javi Baez at 3. Trout at 4. Stephen Kwan at 5. Cody Bellinger at 6. I'm not going to give the numbers after this. Kerry Carpenter, George Springer, Julio Rodriguez, Byron Buxton way down there. Dalton Varsho, Jarren Duran. Jarren Duran needs to be higher. That's another one. How is Jarren Duran so low? The dude with the success of the documentary and his whole story last year. I think he was MVP last year. Trent Grisham at 13. Then we got Nathan Lukes, Randy Arozarena, Tyler Soderstrom, Jake Myers, Taylor Ward, Willie Abreu, and then Ramon Laureano. Forgot he was on the Orioles. Interesting. But again, okay, so right there, like, yes, some of these guys that I mentioned, like Pena's really down there, and then Byron Buxton's pretty low. He may not get in. But, like, I'm not thinking we're missing anybody here. I know last year there were some big snubs, but this year I think we're okay. It's just like you just didn't get the votes, and that falls back on your club for not promoting anymore. Now, into the National League. My throat is killing me here. Damn. Excuse me. Of course, we're going to see a lot of Dodgers on this list, unfortunately. All right. 1, Freddie Freeman with $2 million. Then we got Pete Alonso. Okay. Michael Busch. Okay. Bryce Harper. Damn. Michael Busch came before Bryce Harper. Interesting. Luis Ariz. Josh Naylor. Damn. Josh Naylor. Sweet spot for Josh Naylor. Matt Olson. Well, I got to respond to a text because somebody's freaking out. All right. Josh Naylor, Matt Olson at 7. I haven't seen. Oh, I mean, we just did the Braves. So what am I talking about? Wilson Contreras, damn, he's pretty low. He's had a lot of popularity this year. Wilmer Flores, and then Rhys Hoskins. Not bad. Second baseman, Ketel Marte with $1.5 million. Ketel Marte is a stud. And then the whole thing happening with his mom. I'm not going to talk about it. Listen, cut break here. The thing with Ketel Marte. Okay, I've talked about this now twice. Once with Liam Hendricks with the death threats. Second, I've talked about it with the Astro McCullers, death threats there. Listen, I don't need to talk about this anymore. I'm not going to say it again. Something will need to be done sooner or later. And everyone's like, he may be soft. He just said something about his mom. His mom passed away in 2017 in a car accident. You know, I don't know how close this asshole was with his mom or whatever. You don't say shit like that, man. And that's the thing. Social media, betting, whatever has created this false reality where we can just say whatever we want and there's no consequence. Fucked up, dude. You can't just don't. Why? If you don't like the player, prove the player. Talk shit about the player. You're batting $150, you're batting 100, you make an error, you get booed, deserved. Come at the player. There's no need to bring families in. There's no need to bring relatives, let alone relatives who are deceased. Why? He didn't know. I don't care. That's just beyond. You don't do that. Something's got to change because it just keeps repeatedly happening. This is the third time this year we've had a situation like this with a ball player and his family, and I think that something needs to happen at some point because this can't keep going. So again, cut. We're done with that. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So number 1, second base, Ketel Marte, $1.5 million. Dude's having a year, well deserved. Tommy Edman, Nico Orner, okay. Jeff McNeil, decent. Brendan Donovan, Bryson Stott, Ozzie Albies, okay, Jay Cronenworth, Bryce Terang, Matt McClain. I don't think we missed anybody there. Now, Ellie De La Cruz at 3. Again, people were saying he's snubbed, he should be higher. Make your org push you more. Because, this is the other thing too, right? If you're going to go off stats, if you're going to go off playability, stature in the league, there's no way in hell that Ellie De La Cruz should be behind Mookie Betts. That I do agree with. But then again, it's up to us to vote these guys, right? And if your org doesn't push you more, push people to vote, do things like that, what are you going to do, right? And of course, it's Mookie Betts. But Francisco Lindor is currently at 1 with $1.6 million, then Mookie Betts with 1.2, and then a big drop from 1.2 million to 689,000 for Ellie De La Cruz. Now, granted, Ellie De La Cruz makes some. He's not as defensively sound as Lindor, but he's on his way up, right? So give it space there. Trey Turner, okay. Dansby Swanson, Perdomo. I think Perdomo should have been a little higher, but again, a lot of that voting went to, Ketel Marte for sure. Absolutely. But, it is what it is there. So Perdomo's at 6, Nick Allen, then CJ Abrams, Xander Bogaerts, and then Mason Wynn. Third baseman. Man, there was a big, and I was tweeting about this the other day. People were upset about the Max Muncy, Manny Machado. Listen, personally, Max Muncy's a great hitter. I think he's more of a threat at the plate than he is at third. But there's no question that Manny Machado is a better fielder than Max Muncy. You can't, no. Manny Machado is a stellar defender. Hit or miss at the plate, still can deal some damage, but he's known for that glove. He's had a run of incredible plays at third base in his entire career, going all the way back to Baltimore, right? Before he was a Dodger, and now he's with San Diego. So the dude's made some plays at third base. But to sit here and people were like upset that the announcers for the Padres were saying that Machado was a better third baseman than Muncy. He is. Let's not sugarcoat it. He is. But Muncy's at 2, Machado at 1, Muncy at 2. Eugenio Suarez, who I think is lacking big in votes, only at 500, is having a phenomenal year at the plate. Alec Boehm, Matt Shaw. Who you think's at 1? Do I even need to say? Shohei Ohtani with 2.5 million. Rafael Devers, 2. Deserved. Dude's going off. Seiya Suzuki, Kyle Schwarber, Starling Marte, Marcelo Zuna, Ivan Herrera, Christian Yelich, Gavin Sheets, Pavin Smith. Pavin Smith started off hot, but he's cooled since. Fair take. Now we're on to the catchers. We have 2 more here. Catchers. Will Smith, obviously. I told you I'm prepared for a lot of Dodgers. Will Smith, $2 million. He's had a good year, though. Granted, Will Smith's had a good year. He doesn't get a lot of credit sometimes. He's a good catcher and he's a good hitter. I'll give it to him. Carson Kelly, JT Realmuto. Damn, he's low at only 400. Francisco Alvarez, who's not even in the big leagues right now. So that's a wash. Hunter Goodman, Gabriel Moreno, Jim Contreras, Jose Trevino. Bet your ass I voted for Jose. Sean Murphy, Elias Diaz. Honestly, Trevino's having a great year. At the plate, he's batting like either right at or at 300, having a great year. Career doubles year. Can't argue. He had my vote. And then outfielders. Here we go with the list. We're going to rattle these off. For 1, Pete Crow Armstrong, $2 million. 2, Teoscar Hernandez at 1.3, Kyle Tucker at 1.2, Acuna Jr. at 1.1, Soto at Soto's down. He's not a defender, man. He should be a DH. Let's call it for what it is. Corbin Carroll's down too, bro. Only at 1 million. He's having a year. Hurt right now, but he's having a year. Andy Pajes, Fernando Tatis is down too. James Wood really down there at 600,000. Brandon Nimmo, Nick Castellanos. I'm surprised Nick Castellanos even got votes. I mean, I'm not surprised he got votes, but he's up there. 500,000. And geez, he'd be leading the entire thing. Ian Happ, Tyrone Taylor, Jackson Merrill, Michael Conforto, Max Kepler, Johan Rojas, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., way down there at 280,000. Elio Ramos, and Austin Hayes. Not bad. But again, people are going to say this guy got snubbed. He's too low. It goes back on your club for not promoting you more. That's what I think. But yeah, we're going to have to see how this shakes out. I think there's I don't know when this, when does this end? Because the All-Star game's on the 15th, right? We're on phase 2. Obviously, there's been some. Obviously, the two that have already been decided are Aaron Judge and Shohei. When can you stop voting? I don't know when you can stop voting, but it's coming up quick. So be sure to vote if you haven't voted yet. Just do it once. No one's asking you to do it 6 times in a day or however many times you can do it. But just do it because it's cool. It's fun. It makes the game fun. Makes it interesting. So, yeah. But for sure, All-Star game at Truist Park in Atlanta, July 15th. It's always a blast to watch. So, anyway, guys, that's about all I've got today. Nothing too crazy. Again, wanted to talk about the Burns thing because I was watching balls. We should talk about this. Just wanted to get it out there. A couple of small topics here and there, mostly about New York teams, obviously, but some good stuff. Again, not a crazy weekend. Surprising. Not a crazy weekend, but be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Follow me, Elijah Rodriguez, on Twitter. I'm talking all kinds of shit to people about ball. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment on YouTube. If you watch on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, be sure to rate. It helps a lot. So thanks again, guys. I promise I'm trying to get more content. I'm trying to get more episodes out. So be sure to stream this one. I'll have more this week. Again, thank you for listening, and we will catch you in the next episode.